And to all the fans watching, if you don't know who this man is, you can't call yourself a true basketball fan. Chris, a.k.a. Lethal Shooter, one of the most famous shooting trainers in the world, is here with me again. Chris, thanks for coming on.
Man, thank you for having me.
Of course. I'm Mikey Domagala, owner and creator of NBA Buzz. We'll call this one episode 34 of my show, Inside Buzz. You know, you're always on my episode, so I greatly appreciate that. The show could be found on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Now, Chris, right now we're at halftime Warriors-Memphis game. Grizzlies leading the Warriors 59-51. Klay back in his second game. He currently has 7 points at the half with Memphis leading. After 2 years, Chris, he's back. What do you think about that debut of his the other day?
Man, this is great, man. The basketball culture, we miss Klay. We missed his beautiful jump shot. Most importantly, we missed him with the game of basketball. The game of basketball, we need Klay Thompson. So it's good to see him back. Most importantly, he wasn't playing like he had an injury. He was just going out there playing basketball, dunking on people, shooting the jump shot. And that's good to see after such a tough injury. So I'm happy for Klay, and most importantly, I'm happy for the Warriors.
Currently 350 people in here. People saying hello in the comment section. What's up, guys? I appreciate all the kind words about NBA Buzz and the stuff I do. Question number 2, Chris. After a 2-year layoff, torn ACL, then torn Achilles in back-to-back years, can Klay ever return to all-star form?
Absolutely. I mean, you've seen that. After 2 years, he came back and scored 17 points. There's people in the NBA right now that's been playing for the last 2 years that haven't scored 17 points. So he's showing us, and most importantly, the Warriors are showing us that they believe in this guy. They let him come back and start knocking down shots, and they weren't trying to hide him. They were pushing him to shoot the basketball. They were pushing him to be aggressive, and most importantly, they were pushing him to return back to, we already know who he is, the Splash Brothers. So I think he's going to return back to all-star form in about a year. It's going to be scary for the NBA because the more that he spreads the floor for Steph Curry, the more that Steph Curry can do what he does.
10-day contracts are given out, Chris. Do you think you could play in the NBA right now? A lot of people want me to ask you that in the comments.
No, my job right now is to be a trainer. My job is to teach the art of shooting. And most importantly, my job is to help NBA players and WNBA players master the art of shooting. So playing the NBA is definitely not something that I have planned. You know, if a team was to call me and say, hey, come sit on the bench and make some money, I'm not going to turn it down. But my job right now isn't to try to make it to the NBA. My job is to help those guys master the art of shooting. So that's what I do for my clients every day, watch film, help those guys via Zoom until I go to their cities to help them. So I appreciate everybody always saying that I should sign a 10-day, but I love being a coach and I love helping people master the art of shooting.
And back to the questions. I just figured I had to ask you that one just to see the response, test the waters a little bit. But Klay Thompson's shot form, does he have a perfect form? And if no, what would you maybe tweak about it?
The biggest thing that I would change about Klay Thompson's shot, the thing that I find that's not great is nothing. This guy's perfect. That's a beautiful jump shot. He has one of the purest forms that I've ever seen in my life. His shooting pocket is perfect. His shooting release is perfect. His footwork is perfect. His base is perfect. His hand-eye coordination is perfect. So if you're out there and you're trying to master the art of shooting, make sure you continue to watch my page and, most importantly, watch Klay Thompson because he has a beautiful shot.
There you go. And these Warriors are scary good. Right now, tied with Phoenix, number 1 in the West, 30-9 record. They were 29-9 without Klay.
Yeah.
Man, are they going to finish number 1? And are they your title pick?
I think so. Klay only adds to the machine. You know, Klay doesn't take away from the machine. Klay understands his role. Klay isn't going to come out there and mess up the machine. And the good thing about this team, this is a team that's been together for a long time. This isn't one of those teams where they're just calling all these random guys to come together. This is a team that's been together for, 6 to 7 years. So I think adding Klay just adds more to the machine. And it's scary to say, I think these guys are going to be in the finals.
I saw a post of yours a few days ago giving kudos to newly signed Lance Stephenson with the Indiana Pacers. You were saying you were working on that mid-range shot, and that's really coming true. Over his first couple of games in the 10-day, 30 points back home in Indiana, then a career-high 14 assists. After being out of the league for a little bit, tell me about you training Lance, what you're working on, and are you surprised that he's killing it?
I'm definitely not surprised. Lance Stephenson, he has that New York grit. He has that New York heart. And the one thing we say about Lance, people like him, when they're down, they don't stay down for a long time. They always get back up to come back stronger. And when he was in L.A. training this summer, he was devoted. He was going 2-3 days. And most importantly, he was listening. You know, when I teach a lot of people the art of shooting, if somebody isn't engaged into me and they're not trying to reciprocate what I'm trying to say, I won't train them. And Lance was very understanding of me to making small changes with his jump shot, and most importantly, teaching them different things on how to shoot off the dribble. So I'm very excited for Lance. I'm happy for Lance because he deserves to be in the NBA. He deserves to retire in the NBA, and more players like him shouldn't be out of the NBA. We need to bring more vets back to the NBA so the younger guys can know what the NBA looks like.
And Boston's Grant Williams, now a marksman from deep, top three-point shooter in the league, averaging 42% three-point percentage. Now, he wasn't a shooter like this coming out of college. What have you worked on with him to really elevate him to this level?
Grant's been devoted for the last 2 years. He's been spending a lot of time in LA in the summers, but most importantly, he's a good listener. Like I said, when I train people and I'm making changes, if you're not engaged with your ears and taking on the common criticism, you won't be an elite shooter. And Grant, when you tell him something wrong, he'll listen, make the change, and do it and believe in everything you're teaching him. And I'm happy for Grant. I'm happy that he's showing the world that he can shoot because, you know, his entire life, he was a big man. You know, he was playing in the post, he was doing different things, and he said, hey, coach, I need to start stepping out to the three-point line because I have to start knocking down the shot so I can play more, so I can make my value even higher. So players like Grant, it's a blessing to help them because when they win, I win because the more that they get, I don't get rich, but they get rich, and I'm happy for them.
And they can tell their friends, their teammates, you know, the stuff you've been helping them with, so that will improve your clientele as well.
Right.
The last question, on Monday, I posted a clip of Cavs legend Mark Price. Now, he's 57 years old, still draining threes. You know, he was a lethal shooter himself when he was in the NBA. I got to give a shout-out to NBA Buzz fan SuaveCity.Willie. He wanted me to ask you, if retired legendary shooters can get in shape and face off against current NBA shooters at All-Star Weekend, what are some legend versus current shooters you'd want to see match up with each other?
Most important, if we're having a three-point contest, I would say I've never played in the NBA, but I think I should be in it. I would love to be in a three-point contest, and I think I might post something in a few days or in a few weeks to show everybody I should be in a three-point contest. But I would love to see where they have like maybe an influencer or something go against the NBA players, or maybe an older player like Reggie or Craig Hodges or Mark Price go against these guys. And if you notice, Reggie looked like he still got the Jimmy. Mark Price got the Jimmy. I mean, why not bring one guy back every year to test the run? You know what I mean? So I think that's a great idea. And most importantly, it would keep people engaged. It would make it a fun All-Star Weekend. And I think they need to make a few changes just to make All-Star Weekend a little bit more like savvier for today's youth. So that would be something sick for the NBA to do. I know I'm more than ready to be in a three-point contest in the NBA.
I agree, and that would all be awesome. You being in it as the influencer, then the legends. Now, do legends forget how to shoot? Like, as you get, and
it's like riding a bike. You know what I mean? Like, you know, when you ride a bike, if you don't ride a bike for 5 years, you jump right on a bike, you can ride. So if you have a jump shot, that's why it's important to master the art of shooting when you're young. That's why it's important to form shoot. That's why it's important to not cheat yourself with the art of shooting, because the older and the older you get, it's harder to get a strong muscle memory. So make sure if you're out there and you're trying to master the art of shooting, don't cheat yourself. You know, get in the gym every single day. Try to make at least 500 shots a day. Try your best to shoot at least 1,000 form shots a day. And that's the work that I put in when I was a pro. That's the work that I put in when I was in college. That's the work that I put in when I was in middle school. And now to this day, being older, my jump shot is the way it is because the work I put in before. So when you get older, all you're doing is fine tuning that Jimmy. So I think the older you get, the better your jump shot gets.
Day by day, you know, you're getting a little older. Our last IG Live, you turned and hit a jumper. You say you're getting better with age, and shooters get better with age. Can you turn and splash for the audience?
And you're killing me with these. I'll go right here.
There it is. Well, all right, now he's showing off. 3 in a row. Okay. There he is. He's locked in. Shooter in his element in the gym. Chris, I appreciate you coming on for another episode.
Man, I appreciate you guys, man. Everybody stay locked in, guys.